Essential businesses, the businesses that we work with are essential businesses which, you know, build medical devices and beds for hospitals and clinics. So we were not asked, or we were not forced to close, to shut down by the government, but we remained in business, and that was definitely a blessing. But you know, it's been an interesting journey all these months here, for my kids, for my wife, for me. I went to the States back in July 17th. I believe I went back just because, you know, we had so many things pending. We had to do taxes, and we had to do other things. And, you know, I needed to bring stuff, and I needed to keep moving. I just came back, was able to make it back. Once I left, I couldn't come back because, again, Costa Rica had restrictions on pretty much everybody. Airports were shut down here for months. Nobody was allowed there. They've been opening the airports to tourists from specific countries only. And then they enacted a law where, buenos días, where if you had a relative that was born here in Costa Rica, you could come and visit them. And obviously Yaya, my daughter, was born here, so I was able to get back into the country. So just recently learned that the people who enter the country after December 16th, and they haven't left the country, meaning Costa Rica, they're able to continue to stay in the country without the need to exit for visa requirements. So that gives us, at least another 6 more months to stay here without having to leave the country. That's the new date proposed by the government. Is March, I believe March 15th. I mean, they're doing that with the hope that, by then they'll have something. We're trying to process our residency here, but immigration offices are closed. So all we can do is try to gather the needed and proper documentation and have it ready for submission, hoping that once the immigration offices open in December 1st, then we can start our transition to Costa Rica. There's a lot of things that need to take place by then. We are obviously praying. I have many things in mind as far as how things are going to play out in the States. Obviously there are many things into play right now. The number one, the political turmoil, which is the worst one, I would say. The repercussions in the economic stage is obviously very impacting, and then the social repercussions on, at the nuclear level, the families and societies and communities. The country is divided. We are looking at the other side, and we are in disbelief of what they are capable of. And I'm saying this we because I consider myself a Republican, and the majority of the values that the Republican political system believes in. And I look at the left and I look at the Democrats, and I see, I could swear that I can see everything that they're doing wrong, and the hypocrisy and corruption. But if you ask them, you can. I believe that they believe that Trump is a bigot, it's a racist. I don't believe he is, but I know they have been brainwashed by the media, that they have come to believe that, and they don't see objectively into what's happening in the world stage. And, Trump can make a lot of accomplishments and accomplish peace with Israel's foes, with 7 nations, and they won't care. They don't want him in office just because he's exposing, again, in my opinion, how the left really thinks and what their true agenda is. And what can I say? I can stay here all day and talk to you about the political views and what's happening, and provide you with the information of the things that I know. But I don't think anybody cares. I think that pretty much there's a large group of people that have made up their minds on the left. And I believe there's, just like that, there's an even larger group of people on the right that are done with the left and are done with the politicians on the left and their hypocrisy and whatever. So I think that we have reached, as a nation, a place of no return. I think that this is like a marriage where the couple decides it's time for separation, and there's nothing they can do to live together anymore. So the left has taken the initiative to shoot police officers. Just learned this morning when I woke up and checked my news feed that 3 police officers were just randomly shot in Portland, in a way to protest the death of a person. I'm not really sure who it was, but I don't think it really matters. It matters that justice is served either way. But I don't think that white people is being shot, Mexicans are being shot by the police is being shot by criminals, and nobody cares really. It's how the media manipulates and what they want to manipulate to excuse what the masses are doing, when we know that the masses are being paid to do what they're doing. This is a financed and highly organized movement, anarchist movement. Big names of millionaires, billionaires like Michael Bloomberg and George Soros, and the Hollywood elite who are financing these people to do riots. I think they're scared of what's happening. The truth is coming out about their pedophile rings, their sex trafficking connections to Jeffrey Epstein, the deals with Ukraine, Biden and his son, the visa records, and the Russian dossier, and all these corrupt acts that the left has done to stop President Trump from doing his job, the job that the American